everybody. Welcome to Tots Cast. Today's episode is about our upcoming tabletop on the stage production, Beyond the Rave. Today, I have our DM of the game, Miss Heidi Fisher. Thank you for joining me, Heidi.
I am so happy to be here. It's late, but we're going to do so good. I believe in us.
Yes. So, first things first, kind of just to get it out of the way, kind of like an icebreaker question for our audience. How long have you been playing Dungeons and Dragons?
Ooh, I'm one of those classic people that found the game during the pandemic. There was nothing to do, so I binged this thing called Critical Role. I was like, 4-hour episodes, impossible. Cut to just a couple months later, campaign two was in the can, and a bunch of writer friends from all over the world were part of a Discord server that I was on, and we all wanted to play. And through a misunderstanding, they all thought I was DMing by default, and so I was like, I guess I am. I had never played it before, but just launched it, and that's kind of training in and of itself if you watch actual play, I think. So, yeah, since about 2020, but I've been doing it enough for probably double that amount of time.
When I actually started watching Critical Role around the same time as well, not in the pandemic, but like in 2021.
Mhm.
And my wife, Gracie, she's the one that got me into it because she was playing D&D with her then boyfriend at the time.
Oh.
And tea.
Critical Role brought you together. That's how I'm interpreting it.
Yes, but there was one day where we were in her dorm room, and I was like, "A Critical Role episode is on tonight. Well, let's watch that." And it was the one where Yasha became the champion
Oh,
for
Stormlord.
the Stormlord. Yes, sorry.
Yeah.
And then that I fell in love with it because the combat, like he threw her in that dream, and I was like, "All right, everyone at the table, here's these," and they're like, what? We're
Yes.
gonna all like, and I
Um,
was like, this is so cool.
yeah. The first episode I actually watched was the one with Deborah Ann Wool because before Critical Role I saw her campaign. I'm blanking on the name of it now. Relics and Rarities.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, she was also in this other thing. I guess I'll watch it. And I immediately was like, there is so much story happening here. I am so not like clued in, but they were also locked into their characters. I wanted to know more.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was like, well, there's a lot. They were in the happy fun ball, but they were all having these such specific reactions and relationship dynamics. I was like, I guess I have to go to the beginning. I guess I have no choice.
Because and then after that episode, I was like, all right, well, I guess I have to, yeah, again, start from the beginning.
Mhm.
And so was watching episode like from the beginning of campaign two, and then was flip flopping back and forth between beginning a campaign, and then a Thursday would come and watch that episode, and then continue,
Oh
and then watch the
gosh.
next episode. It just
How did you
kept
keep
on
it
going.
straight in your head?
Um, they had at the time the animated series where
Yeah,
they were
yeah,
recapping, and so I would watch those, but still watch the actual episodes as
uh,
background noise.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
whilst and I would also like fall asleep to it and other things like that, and I was still
Mhm.
retaining the information.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't
And
know
then
why we were like studying for a test that was never gonna come for
yeah,
campaign. It sounds like. Did you have a favorite campaign two character? One that was like, I love all of them, but this one, that's my baby.
Caleb immediately always just became my favorite, other than Liam O'Brien just being
Hmm.
Liam O'Brien. But
Yeah.
like his story really just like it
Hmm.
broke me, and that
Hmm.
and just the whole storyline with Trent and um Beowulf and oh god, what is her name? Astrid.
Yeah.
And Astrid, and like just learning about all of that, I was like, this is a very tragic character, and I love tragic
Yeah.
characters.
Too. But he wasn't just like a 2D kind of angsty guy. He had so
Yeah.
much depth and complexity. But that's
At the
the correct answer, by
beginning,
the way,
at the
Caleb.
beginning he was a 2D just angsty guy. It was, but
Mm-hmm.
like I mean, with campaigns that's how it works. You flesh out that character and learn more about it. But I think at the beginning of campaign 2 it was Ford.
Ooh, that's another great one. Yeah. The way
Ford.
he portrays just, I don't know. masculinity and his journey with that, and really all his characters, but Ford specifically is just beautiful. I love it.
Hmm. But
Yeah.
that campaign just is one of my favorite. And I watched all of Bell's Hells all the way through. Didn't miss an
Mm.
episode.
Hmm.
And but campaign two will always be my favorite campaign
Same.
over any of the campaigns. So
Yeah. Did you see campaign one yet?
I have watched campaign one, and it was because I was preparing for Legends of Vox Machina.
Of course. Yeah.
Um, so I was like, I need to know the context surface of everything before I go into the show, and they change a bunch of things for TV purposes. Um, and actually sat down and watched all 116 episodes of campaign one,
That's
and
awesome.
I had a lot of fun with that.
I'm
So
assuming you've seen the Mighty Nine animated series.
yes, I have.
I love it. I got to be in a Q&A with Tasha Hugh, the showrunner, and she was so cool and had such amazing insights. And whenever she's doing another one, I'll let you know about it because it is really valuable to just hop in and bombard her with questions.
That's awesome. That's so cool. Well, we got sidetracked a
No, this
lot.
is what we're here to talk
This is what
about.
we're here to talk about. So, beyond the rave, we're in a new
Yeah.
world. We're not in or the last two shows we were in a semi same world, or all last three shows we're technically in a semi same world, in a sense, but this one is a fresh new world. What can you tell us about the world and the name of it and how everything runs in our campaign here?
Sure. So this world's name is Altera. And kind of similarly to what you were talking about with how in all campaigns things start a little 2D and then they get fleshed out. I have been blessed with four of some of the best D&D players in the world. And so as they have become fleshed out very quickly and in multiple complex directions, we've also done that with the world. I came in with I'd played a few sessions in this world, and had been thinking about it in the back of my head when I'm supposed to do other things, of course. But these four players have been really, excuse me, these four players have been just, yeah, instrumental in helping to develop it. So the main idea is that the gods are a brand new thing. Before this, it was just small town, not even small town, small communities. People didn't travel that much. Any magic came from the earth or each other. And then in a sort of tech race, a halfling won by creating the gods. And now there are seven of these gods, and they can take over the toil and strife of mortal life. And so a new order is starting to rise. Now we have kings, and now we have like churches, and the food doesn't quite taste the same as it used to because a god takes care of it. Yeah, that's kind of. And at this point in our story, the gods have been around for 15 years.
So
Um,
still fresh.
Still super fresh, but the change has been very sudden. And so mortals are kind of reeling and trying to figure out how do we adjust? Where's our place? Oh, I like this one. I worship this one. Wait, what are you talking about? I gotta worship a god?
Hmm.
There's a lot of fraught civil unrest. And now we have countries. That's a new thing because
Hmm.
the gods divvied up the land. So it's like, I live in where now?
And the so in a kind of like with a lot of campaigns that you'll see in modern media, the gods, they're I mean, just because of how old fashioned D&D works with the alignment chart, are there has the after 15 years has the shift between good gods and evil gods started to happen, or is it still kind of a neutral playing field where um, even the gods are still trying to figure out how things are working on their end, and so they're not worried about the subtleties of I'm going to start a war with this god because I don't like what they're doing and
Mm.
enslaving people and just making things worse.
Yeah, it's a really good question. That's one of the questions that they're trying to figure out right now in the game, both the gods and the mortals. There's definitely gods who have more of a malefic bent. There's a god of war called the Warden. So he tends to be a little bit harsher, but he's also the god of melee and sport, and sometimes he just likes to, watch a fun game. And then, of course, there's more benefic gods like the provider, who's the god of like physical nurturing. And then there's the scholar who plays a pretty heavy role in our story, who's kind of a mysterious person. She seems very neutral, very concerned with thought and academics, but also seems interested in sort of giving fire to the mortals in a sort of Prometheus way.
Mhm.
So yeah, alignment hasn't really sprung up yet, but it might. Give it time.
Um, I want to do another kind of lightning round question here. Kind of
Mm.
take a break from talking about the world. Um, Let me see here. What is my favorite question? You know what? Because we were just talking about it, what is your favorite alignment?
Ooh, my favorite alignment is for sentimental reasons. It's chaotic good because when I was teaching back in the day, I walked in and saw the kids had drawn out on the board. I must have been late, which I was never late if my old boss is listening. Um, had drawn an alignment chart and then put the teachers at the school in the alignment. They put me in chaotic good, and I was like, I choose to believe that is the best compliment I will ever receive. So yeah, it's chaotic good. What's yours?
Oh, I've always kind of leaned towards the chaotic neutral, in my
Mm.
opinion,
Mhm.
just because I've always loved the fact of just being chaotic just to be chaotic, but not in an evil sense,
Mhm.
because I don't think any of my characters have ever had an evil bone in their body.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
with Rin, Rin is practically an exact clone of me, but if I grew up religiously.
Oh, nice.
And like there was a character that I had auditioned with that I really fleshed out. It was a female wizard,
Mm.
and she was more of a like a lawful good, because her goal was to travel around the world to find like basically find out a way to help those who don't like basically help transgender people transition in a safe environment by using magic in that safe environment.
Fantastic. That's quite good, don't you think?
Yes, but it in the undertones of it, I was wanted because of that fact.
Oh, that's great. I love that.
And that was the character that I auditioned with the first D&D game that we ever did. And
Mm.
I was like, is this like too out of left field? This like is this over the top? And they were like, if you mean to make it over the top, then yes, it is over the top, but you're not meaning to make it over the top, so it's okay. And I
Yeah.
was like, that okay.
Yeah, I have found that the people of Theater Off the Square have been really encouraging of those big swings and creative risks and freedom. So I'm glad that it goes all the way back then.
Yeah. Um, let's talk about our players a little bit.
Yes, I would love to.
Um, we have Dylan Caldill.
Yes.
Um, what character is he playing this time around?
Dylan is playing Leto. He's a Leonin warlock, a celestial warlock. So all of our all of our player characters have different vibes than the class they're playing. Like he's definitely a warlock. Everyone thinks he's a paladin. Um, he's sort of we keep affectionately referring to him as Banksy Jesus because he was a very secluded artist, would do carvings in trees, and people would like whisper his name, and they decided that his name was the counselor. And he's been through a series of unfortunate or fortunate events, has been dragged into this sort of rebellious work. But he's incredibly, he manages to balance being very wide-eyed and have a deep wisdom underneath it. It's really beautiful watching him work. An angel, who are not supposed to exist, of the scholar, fell out of the heavens and got caught in a tree, cat style. And this cat went to save him, and in return, the angel blessed him, and hence his magical abilities. Yeah, I can't wait for you to see him work. He has such sensitivity, but also a very playful wit.
Mhm.
Yeah, I love it.
I it's funny that you say that he's like y'all joke that he's like more of a paladin than a warlock because I mean Dylan's personality is paladin-esque.
Yes,
It's-
absolutely. Yeah, this is he was born to play this part.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then we also have my sister-in-law, Beck Wooten.
Yes.
And from what I've pieced together, she's playing a feline barbarian.
Yes, yes, a tabaxi barbarian. Um, uh, Probably the youngest of the group. Zorana is the character's name. Zorana grew up in a family that loved the warden, that's the god of war, and all were blessed by him. But Zorana is sort of the runt of the litter and didn't really earn the favor of the warden and had a really tough time in her family ranks because of it. And she sports a scar on her face and a milky white eye because of it. She sort of got scouted and adopted into this secret school, which is a an important fixture in Altera called Shandellum Academia. Very, dark academia vibes. Um, and the school's whole purpose is to maintain the mortal skills and magics that the gods are trying to take over. So Zorana became a part of the melee kind of department, which is very, it's not a sit down and learn kind of school.
Mhm.
Um, and very quickly has risen in ranks and maybe a little too early, gone into more of the field work. Um, it's a little bit, Professor X vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beck plays Zorana with Zorana is like such a punk rocker, but has genuine vulnerability and not in a way that like I hear a lot of a lot of like Hollywood execs are like, rough around the edges, but still a heart of gold. Like Beck actually delivers on that and just
Mhm.
seamlessly. In the same moment too, you can see like that very rough and tumble and just absolutely heartbreaking sensitivity. I
Mhm.
love Zorana.
Awesome. We have Dean Gamble,
We do
another
have a Dean
returning
Gamble.
player. Dean, when I first saw him, he was in our first tabletop game. He played a dwarf. I want to say barbarian or fighter, and his character was just iconic. He had some very very funny one liners.
I believe it. Dean is sort of the king of one-liners. He is so funny. It's amazing. And he's another player that balances that incredibly casual sniper kind of wit and incredible depth. I know we're talking individual players right now, but I just want to brag a little bit about all of them. We played a very late session Sunday night because we wanted to get to a certain point in the story before live show time. And I was like kicking myself that I didn't have cameras running because we were all sitting around a table and with tears in our eyes because of the genuine I don't want to spoil anything, but there was a lot of beautiful and tragic connection happening there, with Dean's character at the crux of it. So Dean plays a shifter paladin. So he looks like a human, but he's a werewolf. I know. Which in Altera, uh, lycanthropy is a blessing from the warden, the war god. But he views it more as a curse. He's not a
Mhm.
big fan of the warden, despite being his chosen. Um, poor Lauren Lycos is mired in tragedy, but sports it with charm and an intelligence of 8. Uh, um, he was sort of a misanthrope, was out drinking on the night of the eve that they were celebrating his family's coronation. So he missed the big event, which was a werewolf tearing through and killing his whole family, sort of Red Wedding style. It's an event that the world kind of calls the Blood Moon. Not funny, not funny. Um, anyway, he fought this werewolf over the corpses of his family members and found himself transforming in the moment as well, not having been bitten. And later, he discovers he's not the only survivor. It's his cousin Garrick has also survived. And he sports a very similar wound to the one that he gave the werewolf that killed their whole family. I know. Drama. And in the immediate aftershock of his trauma and grief, Garrick came to him and said, the people are worried that if we don't crown somebody today, on the day that the warden said we needed to, there's going to be trouble. They said it still needs to be a family member. That leaves either you or me. What do you think? Knowing that in his grief, he would be like, you take it, you take it. And he's like, okay, great, great, great. But it's yours whenever you want it. No worries. Just get out of here, for your own mental health. So now we have King Garrick, who is doing just a bang up job of being the warden's good boy. Um, yeah, let's see. Dean, let me think. What else do I want to say? Yes, I will say Lauren has a pining romance with Nora, who is the next player that I'm sure we'll talk about.
Yes,
Yeah.
Miss. Oh my Lord, I love this woman with all of my heart.
I know, me too. Me too. She's got a big fan club.
Casey Holloman.
Yes.
I so I directed Casey in Proof. I think I told
Oh,
you about this.
I didn't know you had
Uh,
directed it. That's fantastic.
I assistant directed it,
Uh-huh.
um, and it was a weird time. Casey is so insanely smart,
Yes.
and she does not. She herself does not think she's smart.
Yeah,
I
that
believe
was
this.
my first impression of her was we met at our first sort of session 0, and uh she kept I hope she knows that I'm speaking affectionately here. She kept kind of going like, "Oh, sorry to keep, dominating the conversation." I wanted her to do all the talking because her ideas were brilliant and zingy and like uh fleshed out, like getting everybody else to think about their own characters and the world, and that hasn't stopped the whole creative process.
Mhm.
It was her and Dean actually, where they had a duo session one time, and we kind of stumbled on a process that works really well for the 5 of us, where instead of doing what I usually do, which is, go away and prepare a session, and then we come and play the session, we sat and had sort of a writer's room meeting about like, well, what do you think about this? Well, oh, what if that happened? And what would you feel about that? Okay, interesting. All right, pause. Give me 10 minutes. I would go prep a session based on what we talked about. Then I'd come back and we'd play it out. It was awesome. We were all nerding out about it. Um, And yeah, Casey is just another one who really balances brain and heart with brilliance. She has wickedly smart ideas that are always rooted in human truth.
Hmm.
Um, and she plays Nora with like a very natural adorkability without anything feeling put on. And her struggles feel so real and interesting. So she plays Nora, previously Nora the Mender. She is a cleric, a human cleric who gives druid vibes because she was a druid at one point, a very high level druid before the gods came into being.
Hmm.
As she was a leader of her people, and for a while it seems like her people, the Gwendarians, were going to kind of coexist with the new order of divine power, and she was a very high profile liaison between her people and the new courts. The night that Lauren's family was slaughtered by the werewolf, Garrick, who was a friend of hers, showed up at her doorstep, bleeding, burned, dying. And she went to heal him, but was too late. He was dead. And at this point, revival magic was more of a myth in Altera. Hadn't really been done, at least not on a wide scale yet. And Nora begged her earthen power, which we call the skein, to save him and got a very strong, resounding no. And so, in a moment of desperation, used a different source of magic, which was the scholar, one of the gods, and was one of the first people on Altera to cast Revivify and bring Garrick back to life. Um, but Garrick seems a little changed. Or maybe he was always this way. It's hard to tell. He's a little power hungry, a little manipulative. Sent her away to look after his grief-stricken cousin for a little bit. Um, and unfortunately, dear Nora has lost her magic. She is starting from ground zero all over again. The skein has abandoned her, and her people found out and sort of disowned her. They said, "How could you, represent us and lead us if you're not connected to the skein?" Lost her title. Yeah, and is trying to figure out her relationship to the scholar, which is all about, cerebral magic, and she comes from a very like gut instinct kind of magic. Yeah, and she's got a very sort of slow burn romance happening with
Hmm.
Lauren. Yeah, she's fascinating. I love watching her play.
Hmm. A world question
Yeah.
with the Revivify.
Hmm.
Is it kind of like how in Game of Thrones, when and I'm talking the books, not the show.
Hmm. Okay.
Even though it happens a little bit in the show, just a little bit in the
Uh-huh.
show.
Sure.
But so when, spoiler alert for book three, um, when Caitlin Stark gets revived
Mhm.
and becomes a lady, oh, I can't remember the name.
I can't
Um,
either, but I know what you mean. Not stone. God, what was it?
Something like that. I can't remember,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
um, when it and it, you can tell that it is Caitlin Stark
Hmm.
as this new character. Um, apart when they get revived from the god that revived them. I can't remember the name of the god either.
Hmm.
It takes a part of their soul away
Hmm.
that made them them. So, for example, in the show, uh, when Jon Snow revives, he loses his Stark side of him, but then that gains more of his Targaryen side, if that makes sense. At least in my eyes, that's what it seems like.
I like that interpretation, and you've hit on a very good question. So it's not exactly that, but something similar. Um, So the next time Nora goes to heal someone, her vision flashes and she's suddenly seeing through Garrick's eyes. And it was recently revealed to them that when that happens, Garrick can also see through her eyes. So in this world, once
Mm.
you've revivified someone, you're sort of always bonded to them.
Hmm.
And every time you heal, you might be given up a little bit more of yourself to that person. And we're currently exploring to what extent. And does that mean he has some of her magic? Is that where it went? We're trying to figure that out. Yes.
Hmm.
Interesting.
That makes me nerd out so
Right?
hard.
Yes, yes. It's been a nerd fest over here. Been really enjoying. Bless you.
Okay. Um, I think I'm gonna ask a couple of lightning questions.
All right, I'll try and be fast. Sorry, it's not my nature.
No. And these are some questions that I actually asked Dylan when I did his interview video for our like promo videos. Um, do you love playing heroes or villains and why?
Can I be a little snot and say anti-hero, a little bit of
And
both?
yes, you can. Yes, you
I
can.
love it. I love playing people who are little shits. Am I allowed to swear? No?
Yes, or
Okay.
have I? I think I've sworn a couple of times.
Okay,
I don't
gotcha.
remember.
I
I
love
don't remember.
Okay, gotcha. I love playing people who are little shits and then become redeemed later. I like playing people who are already redeemed and have a not so nice past. I love people who are a little bit morally gray. You know what? I don't want it simple. But I also love being at a table where it's safe enough and comfortable enough to allow, it doesn't have to be me, but somebody to kind of go into
Mhm.
that more villainous side. And, we don't have to linger there, but yeah. How about you?
I personally, I've always loved playing the hero,
Hmm.
but when you said anti-hero, that just seems so damn fun. I
Hmm.
mean, just being able, like, and I guess that really gets into more of that chaotic neutral for anti-hero,
Yeah.
and because, like you said, like being able to just not caring and doing whatever you want, but then also helping those in need at the same
Mhm.
time.
Yeah.
I think honestly, some of my favorite portrayals of anti-heroes are in modern media. I mean, you have Punisher, John Bernthal as
Mm.
Punisher. Um, there's some Batman. Oh, Catwoman,
Oh, yes.
or especially Catwoman in the Arkham Asylum or the Arkham series, the game series. I just like
Mhm. So good.
those are some of my favorite characters in modern media are anti-heroes. So I guess that really does make a lot more sense
Yeah,
when you think
well,
about it.
because there's freedom in an anti-hero. If you're just a hero or just a villain, those archetypes have rules. A hero does this, a villain does that. An anti-hero is a person with
Yeah.
memories and motivations, and I can just act on those.
I, awesome. um,
A little nerd chill.
yeah.
Yeah.
um, Describe what people should look forward to on Friday.
Oh, describe what they should look forward to. They should look forward to, first of all, this theater is made of pews, not chairs, and that's pretty special, I think. I think that's amazing. Um, they should look forward to a community experience where we all get to witness a story unfold in real time, one that the players and the DM are very excited to see what happens. We all get to find out what happens at the same time. And as an audience member, you are going to be part of the story. The audience will be sort of a character in and of itself. Don't worry, there's not going to be a spotlight on you or anything like that.
Do the thing.
Exactly. Go on, perform, monkey. Um, But yeah, there will be a very important role for the audience to play to that will affect the player characters in this show and in the future.
What is your favorite D&D moment? And this can be in this game that you're playing, the Beyond the Rave game, or other games that you've had in the past.
Oh my gosh, that's a big question. There's been so many. I just to generally, be glowing for a second. I'm so happy and privileged to be in a position where I am parsing out so many moments just with Beyond the Rave and these four players. I mean, I hadn't met these four people before this. I think they must think I am the most effusive person in the world, and I'm not. I'm just genuinely so impressed and excited and honored to get to create with these people because there are there have been so many moments where I guess I kind of mentioned it before, but I'll mention it again. Our last time we played, everything, all the work we had done, all the threads that we had woven together just kind of culminated in together. Let's see, what can I say without spoiling anything? Essentially, actually, this isn't a spoiler because people do need to know it. uh, Dean's character, Lauren, announced he's engaged to someone else. I know. In the middle of a pretty charged conflict, they were trying to save a group of people. And they were trying to figure out what to do. There was a time limit. They needed to save these people, another sect of Gwendarians, Nora's people, and it just came out. And again, I wish there had been cameras rolling, but I got a front row seat to see everyone's reactions. And as Zorana and Leto were like kind of talking and asking questions and being verbal in their response, I just looked over to Nora and she was having the most internal, quiet response. It was all happening on her face as her heart broke.
Oh,
I know. Anyway, and then they eventually, figured out the problem. They saved the people. And they all realized that once he's engaged, he probably can't go off and do these missions anymore. He's going to become too much of a public figure because of who he's going to be marrying. In fact, all of them are kind of thinking maybe we should break up the group. And so the end of the session came, and I said, okay, who leaves first? And it was quiet. Nobody wanted to go. And eventually, one by one, they said their goodbyes and went off by themselves. And we were all heartbroken and so happy. That's the sickness of the artist, right? I'm just like, this hurts so good.
wow.
Yeah, I know. So, where we pick up on during the live show is the bachelor party that Zorana has insisted on throwing. Um, and it might be the gang's last hurrah. And also, Zorana might have something up her feline sleeves to maybe keep the
Hmm.
gang together. Yes. So all that good stuff is simmering for you at the live show. And yeah, a great will they, won't they? And maybe some, you know, D&D in there as well.
Um, you've said it a couple of times, but what is your favorite part of playing with this group?
I love playing with people with such open hearts and sharp minds and fuel those things with an incredible dedication to this art form and this game. Um, they, this very, there have been so many times where just because of their passion, we've like squeezed in an hour here or an hour there to like play or just talk or about this. And because of that, the characters in the story have become so rich. Um, and it's just the joy of my life, just being a part of those sparky conversations and moments with creatives like this. And also, they bring good snacks.
Well, it's been almost 50 minutes. I think we've,
As it
I think, yeah. I mean,
lightning
technically for
round
the
my
two of us,
foot. Sorry.
technically for the both of us, it's been an hour, but for the video, it's been 50 minutes.
We have to edit it. You
Uh,
have to edit it down to 15 minutes, Xander. I'm so
no,
sorry.
not 15 minutes. No, no, no. I'm going to keep it as is, but I'm just saying that it's been, for us, it's been an hour, but for the video, it's been 50 minutes.
Oh, 50. Okay, thank God. I was like, I'm so sorry. Okay, great, great, great.
um, I don't know if I should ask more questions or if
Ask,
we should
I'm
just.
happy. I'll do whatever you want.
What is your favorite class and race to play?
To play. I don't get to play that often. I'm a little bit of a forever DM. Um, I have found in the few times I have gotten to play, I always think I'm gonna be a very like funny guy, kind of chaos gremlin. And every time I'm like, all right, gang, but we have a mission. Like, let's, make the DM's life a little easier. And so I end up kind of mother henning it a little bit. So maybe cleric, even though I never thought it would be. But I also think clerics can be very flexible depending on what domain you choose and how you play it.
Do you have any final words that you would like to tell our audience before the big show on Friday?
Oh gosh. I can't wait to see you. I can't wait to play with you. I think this is going to be a great night. And in Gygax we trust.
Gygax we trust. Well, thank you so so much for sitting down with me and doing this. I this is what I've always wanted to do. This is the reason why I decided that I wanted to do this for the theater was because I love just sitting down and talking to people, even though I'm a bit of an introvert. Uh, but I just love talking to people that have the same passions as I do, whether that's either D&D, video games, books, or anything like that. So thank you
Yeah.
so much for sitting down with me. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk about the show and to really delve deep into it and talk about the players and the world. Um,
Yeah.
and I just cannot wait for Friday.
Oh, me too. I'm so excited. I just want as many people as possible to experience this because it's going to be just amazing. And thank you for sitting down with me. I equally love just nerding out about this stuff. I mean, who else am I going to corner to be like, you have to listen about my D&D games? This was great. Thank you so much, Sander.
Well, thank you all so much for watching. You can come see Tabletop on the Stage Beyond the Rave this Friday, February 20th. Show starts at 7 p.m. Doors open at 6:30. You can buy the tickets online or you can get a ticket in person for just $5 at the theater. And our theater is located at 114 North Denton Street in Weatherford, Texas, zip code 76086. We can't wait to see you. And until next time, peace.
Bye.